Hey guys, what is happening and welcome to a brand new video today. I've got another commentary for you. Today we're playing some Kill Confirmed on Crossfire. I'm using the AK-47 and I've got you guys a really nice gameplay in the background here, but that is not really what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm just going to leave this gameplay to do its own thing. And I really want to talk about what is to come from Call of Duty, and I'll probably title this video COD WW2 versus Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, last week we had the big reveal of World War II, and I'm really excited for the game, and a lot of my other friends are, and I think it's going to be a really big hit. I watched the trailer, I watched the reveal, and it looks like they've put a lot of effort into this game, and I'm excited for it. I think it should be something that's going to give us a different dimension of Call of Duty, something that we haven't had in a long time. And I really enjoyed the original World at War, which came out after Call of Duty 4, and that had a lot of work to do, because the original Call of Duty 4, as you know, it was a game that I played a hell of a lot, and a lot of older YouTubers and people that just generally play Call of Duty when it first sort of hit the scene, really, that was the first game that really brought it into life. And for World at War to come out after, it was always going to be very difficult, and even at that time it was quite controversial for that game to come out. And people just weren't used to playing the war games unless you played Call of Duty 3, 2 and 1. You just weren't used to that, and I think Call of Duty as a franchise wanted to keep that going instead of hitting straight up to Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, I don't think the game really got appreciated for how good it was. Call of Duty World at War provided something different. It had a lot of different aspects in it. It kept the sort of the gun regime in there, but it kept putting stuff like tanks. And the maps were bigger, but then you had short maps as well, and it was just a completely different game to Call of Duty 4, and I think people just struggled to get used to that. And ever since then, I feel like the Call of Duties that have come out, especially since Modern Warfare 3, the generation of people that have been playing them have got used to games where maps are constantly coming out, you're getting new DLC all the time, and I think that with that it just kept everything quite modern. And I think Call of Duty as a franchise just seemed to keep everything going that sort of way until it's reached the point it's reached now, where if you go and look at the Infinite Warfare trailer, the dislikes on it is absolutely ridiculous. I think people just got to the point where they were like, right, if I want to play a game where I'm jumping around, I'm just going to go and play Halo or something like Destiny. I don't know, the other sort of games. I really don't play anything else but Call of Duty most of the time. And yeah, I just think that there's just a lot of debate about really coming back to war game modes, and it is Call of Duty at the end of the day. It's, you know, it was originally a war game, and I'm just so glad that they've come back and just said, you know, we're going to do boots on the ground, we're going to go back to just original Call of Duty. But you can see that they've just put in so much effort into it, and that it's going to be a really well made game. But what I think, like I said about Call of Duty with the more recent players since like Modern Warfare 3, people that have played all the Black Ops games and have come into a lot of modernisation in the game, are they gonna really enjoy this game and appreciate it as much as people like myself? Now, I know, like I said, a lot of my friends have played Call of Duty for a long time and they're used to it, and they'd be happy to see it come back to where it's going to go now. But I'm just wondering whether people are going to be playing this game over World War II next year. For me, I think that I'm going to be playing World War II a lot, and I'm going to put a lot of time into it, but I feel like this is going to be a great second option for me. And this is what I did when World at War first came out. I played World at War for the first year, and then I even carried on playing World at War. I think, what was the game? Modern Warfare 2 came out after that. But the games were all so good around that time that I always went back, and I ended up making like montages with various Call of Duty games in them, and I've still gone back and played World at War since. So I feel like World at War 2 is going to be a great game, but I do feel like people are going to either stick to this or they're going to go back to still playing like Black Ops 3, because Black Ops 3 is really, really popular at the moment on YouTube. It's a lot of the big Call of Duty YouTubers are switching back to it at the moment. I think that some people are finding this game quite stale. Personally, I'm really enjoying this game, but having friends that don't play Call of Duty to record or anything like that, some of them are just not as into it as they were maybe a month ago. I think this game needs to be refreshed, although it is a remastered. I still think it needs to be refreshed and there needs to be new stuff coming out to keep people interested, because that's just how games are now. And I think that if people wanted a remastered like I did to begin with everything being completely the same, I think that by now that they would be bored with it. I don't think they would enjoy it as much. I would still personally play it, but I feel to keep this game healthy that it has to keep having stuff put into it. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be bothered if they put Modern Warfare 2 pretty much into this game, put all the maps in, all the guns in. It would not bother me in the slightest. It would just make the game very heavy though, and there'd just be too much, and you wouldn't get to play enough of what you want to play on the game. But I do feel like when I pick up World War 2, I don't feel like I'm going to be disappointed by this game. I feel that they've put enough time into it already just by seeing the reveal. They talked a lot about how they're going to keep it simplistic. I do think you're going to see stuff like supply drops in the game still. You've seen that they're going to have this big headquarters as well, where people can sort of mingle, socialise, so to say. And yeah, it looks like they've put in huge amounts of details, I keep saying. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see who decides that they're going to stay on this game, because I know this game, especially for like an add-on game, so to say, to Infinite Warfare, they literally, we all know why they put it as an add-on game. It's so people bought Infinite Warfare, but I haven't even installed the game at all, and I just feel like it's going to be very interesting to see whether people play World War 2 for a bit and then just sort of stick to it, or whether they decide to come back here, or whether they go to a different Call of Duty, or whether they just stop playing Call of Duty altogether. I personally think that a lot of people are going to play a year solid on World War 2, or maybe up to sort of now time of like April, May, and then start flicking back to others. But I think I will filter towards the 2 because I really enjoy this game, and I'm doing really well in terms of kill confirmed. I'm up in like, I'm up to like 35th or something like that, and I really enjoy being able to be near the top of the leaderboard in a certain game mode as well. But I'd also like to pursue that sort of thing. I'll be interested to see what multiplayer game modes they bring out on World War 2, and I'm sure we'll find a lot of that out at E3. We'll be able to see exactly what they're planning to do. I'd like to see the actual, they've said about a game mode called War, but I don't think it's going to be similar to what was in World at War. In World at War you had a similar to sort of headquarters. I think you had 3 big bases you had to take down, but it was one at a time, and you pushed the other team back gradually. But if the other team won a base, you'd go back to the previous base. And I really enjoyed that game mode, and they never brought it back out on any Call of Duty. And it might have just been that I only enjoyed the game mode, but yeah, it was they never went back to sort of bringing it out, which was a bit of a shame, really. And I'm hoping that they do bring a similar type of game mode out, because it made good use of bigger maps as well. So hopefully they'll smash it on the game mode front, and they'll be able to give us a game that we can all enjoy. And hopefully people who haven't really played a war game before can sort of go and enjoy it for what it is. Hopefully they don't bring out too much stuff in terms of camos and stuff. They keep it all quite basic in terms of some of the aesthetic stuff, because I want to see people in a war game mode running around with pink and neon green guns, because I just think that will just ruin it completely. But we'll see what they do. And yeah, they're just coming up to the end of this gameplay now. I hope you have enjoyed this commentary. If you've got any views on World War 2 or Modern Warfare Remastered, what you think is going to be better over time, then let me know. Drop a comment, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, well, extended weekend for those of you who've got a day off again today. And yeah, peace.
That's a naughty little